This is now, this is a 10x, I think. Yeah, it's a 10x magnification of the pancreas, and these are going to be the lobes that are around. We're going to go a little bit higher magnification so we can see those, but I wanted to get let you use the lower magnification a little bit to so you can see if you can identify the presence of the eyelids. All right, so you use this. This is not perfect, but I'll show you an eyelid in a second. You want to see a nice one. They stain sometimes a little bit less prominently in the pancreas. Well, let's go on higher. I mean, I saw a bunch of them this morning when I was looking at this. There we go. A little bit higher magnification. All right. Well, let's spend a little time just looking at the acinar cells here. This is 20x, and we'll go to 40x, and we'll look at these cells. You can see them. They're beautiful, and you see how the very granulated material that is in the acinus, for example. You can see all the very dark, pretty pink granules that are located. If you look over here, there'll be this is going to be a central acinar cell right there, and in terms of where it's going to be located, this is from another one. This is probably a central acinar cell right there. And remember that they're going to be very pale, and they're going to be usually at the center of where the lumen would start in one of the acinar groups that you would see. So they're not always going to be perfect, but you'll see the central acinar cells in that kind of an arrangement. All right. Let's just look around. They're all over the place here. I mean, you can see them, and this would be more of an intercalated duct that you'd see over in here, right there. And remember that these intercalated ducts are important in terms of the first part of the cells that are going to be secreting bicarbonate ions. That the central acinar cell and these intercalated duct cells are really critical in terms of being able to change the pH of the lumen of the duodenum in order to get these enzymes to work and break down the food products, okay? So those are really important for you to see. They're all over the place. You just have to spend a little time searching around and sort of finding them. Now let me find a good eyelid for you, and we'll go over what that guy looks like. And then I've got another slide that shows, oh man, there's all kinds of duct and acinar cells central acinar cells that you see here, okay? I'm going to go down one so I can see if I can find us an eyelid, a nice eyelid. Oh, there we go. There's one. Okay. Now, there can be a lot bigger than this, but you can look. This accumulation of cells right in here is going to be an eyelid. All right. Now, this eyelid probably is just one section through it, and it's probably not. And we might find a better one along the way, but let's just sort of concentrate on this one for a minute, and then I'll see if I can find a little bit bigger portion of this. But you have to compare when you're looking for an eyelid. That they're going to be easy to identify if you have looking on low power first, and I'm at 20x now, and they're going to be essentially accumulated cells that are in this kind of an arrangement. All right. And you can see they're quite different in terms of these have all these granules around there. So these are the exocrine acinar cells that are involved in exocrine function of the pancreas. And then this is an eyelid right here. It's going to have, now we're going to go up in magnification and take a look, although we won't be able to tell too much about them, but in terms of this, because unless we stay on specifically, we won't be able to identify very many of the cell types. For sure, you can say that most of the cell types here are going to be beta cells, because 70% of the cells in the eyelid are beta cells. And so most of the cells that you'll see in this accumulation will be beta cells. The alpha cells are usually found at the periphery of the eyelid. So it's a cell that this looks like it's a little different type of cell, and there's one up. Oh, come on. There's one right there that's a little different type. This is probably one that's a little different type, and then around like that. So in this, you won't be able to see the delta cells or the PP cells or the G cells simply because they have to be stained, and there are many fewer in terms of what the islet looks like. So most of the cells that you see here are going to be beta cells, and these are involved in secreting insulin, and insulin is critically important for maintaining the blood glucose level, and the whole raison d'etre, if you will, of insulin is to get the glucose out of the blood vascular system and into the cell itself. And if that's balanced properly, then you have a way to store some in glycogen particles, and then if you needed it, you could actually break it down by glucagon, which is a hormone secreted by the alpha cells. All right, now I'm going to look around and see if I can find some more, but I think before I do that, I'll go back to the last slide, which is a Mallory stain, because in this slide, looking at those, we might be able to get a little larger islet, and you'll be able to identify